Okay, this is section 6.8, and this is part 2 of the video. This is going to go through the graphing radical equations examples. Okay, so if you'll turn to page 2 of your note packet here, we'll look at this very first example. We have y is equal to the square root of x. Okay, so as we look at this guy, first thing we got to figure out is, and you'll notice that a is 1 in this case. Okay, a is 1. So since a is 1, we're just going to use our ordered pairs to plug them in and plot our graph. So as we look at this guy, I make a t-chart here. The numbers I want to put in for x, again, are the first three perfect squares. 0, 1, and 4. Okay, so if I put it in, I get y. If I put 0 in for x, I get y equals the square root of 0, so y is 0. So my first ordered pair is 0, 0. If I put in 1, y is the square root of 1, the square root of 1 is 1, so my ordered pair is 1. And if I put in the square root of 4, put in 4, square root of 4 is 2. So I have these three ordered pairs. Okay, now I'm going to plot these three ordered pairs to draw my curve. Okay, so as I look at the graph here now, we're going to plot these three ordered pairs. I've got the ordered pair 0, 0. I've got the ordered pair 1, 1, right 1, up 1. And I've got the ordered pair right 4 and up 2. And now I draw my curve like so. And you now have graphed your first square root function. Okay. A couple things about this graph that are important. Okay, and that is that this graph right here is the graph of the parent function. It's the most basic graph, square root graph that you're going to have. Okay, most basic square root function. All right, now this is the graph that you're going to put down on every single one of your graphs here, as long as a is 1, and you're going to use this to shift. So all you're going to do is put the points down, and then you're going to shift it. Okay, so let's take a look at example number 2. All right, example number 2 here. As we look, we've got y equals the square root of x plus 1. Okay, so again, as I look at this, I got to figure out, as I identify, a is 1. Okay, a is 1. There's no a value there, so it's 1. So I want to graph the parent function first. Okay, so again, the parent function is 0, 1, and 4. If I plug them in, I get 0, 1, and 2. I'm just going to plot the exact same thing I just did a second ago. Okay, so I'm going to graph the parent function, and you'll see the parent function will be in black. Okay, so the parent function is 0, 0, 1, 1, and 4, 2. Okay, now that's where I'm going to put my dots. I'm not going to draw the curve yet. Alright, so now as I look at this guy here, what is this shift? This right here means that you're going to shift each point up 1. That's a K. Okay, so you're going to shift each point up 1. So now when I go down to my graph, I'm going to take the parent function, and I'm going to put this guy in blue. I'm going to take each dot that I have, and I'm going to move them up 1. Each dot I have is going to move up 1 spot. Okay, so now as I look at this, I move this guy up 1, put a dot here. This guy up 1, put a dot here. And this guy up 1, put a dot here. And now you have the graph of y equals the square root of x plus 1. And you're done. Okay, so you'll notice when a is 1, the graphs are really, if you can do the parent function, the graphs are really pretty, they're not that complicated. Okay? Alright, let's take a look now at examples 3 and 4. So we've got first couple done here. Alright, examples 3 and 4 here now. Okay, again, as I look at this here, again, I'll identify that a is 1. So I want to graph the parent function again. 0, 1, and 4, and I've got 0, 1, and 2. So I'm going to graph that parent function. Again, I'm going to put the parent function in black. So I'll put the parent function in black. 0, 0, 1, 1, right 4 up 2. Again, I'm not going to draw the curve. And this shift right here, what does this shift tell me? This is an h value, so it's always going to be the opposite. So this tells me we're going to move left 4 units. Okay, so now I'm going to go back down to the graph, and I'm going to take each dot and move them left 4, and I'm going to put these in blue. So I move that dot left 4, I move this dot left 4, and I move this dot left 4, and now I have the curve of y equals the square root of x plus 4. Okay, so as we look at that first couple of examples, we can identify now that they're not too horribly complicated. Now, as I look at my next one here, this is where things start to get a little bit more challenging. Okay. All right, so a is -1. All right. Now, because a is -1, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Identify the shift first. Okay, so if I identify the shift, this shift says we're going to shift left 3 units. But you'll notice this guy right here says we're also going to reflect. So, on this one here, since my a value is not 1, I want to go ahead and graph. I'm going to cross this guy out and graph y equals the opposite of the square root of x. I'm going to plug in these ordered pairs. 0, 1, and 4. And tell me what we get out. So when I go here, y equals the opposite of the square root of 0. Well, that's just still 0. So 0, 0. Y equals the opposite of the square root of 1. Square root of 1 is 1, so y is going to be -1. All I'm doing is substituting in. If I put in 4, the square root of 4 is 2, so y is going to be -2. Okay, and now I'm going to plot those points. Okay, so I'm going to plot those points on my graph. So I've got the ordered pairs 0, 0. Again, I'm going to put these guys in black. 0, 0, right 1 and down 1. And right 4 and down 2. Like so. And then now I'm going to take my shift, which said left 3, and I'm going to put my graph. So these are going to be in blue, left 3 there, left 3 here, and left 3 here. And now my graph is going to look on the blue lines here, like so. This is y equals the opposite of the square root of x plus 3. Okay, so anytime a is not 1, this is how you want to do the problem. Okay, you're going to want to graph the first part of it. Okay, y is equal to the negative square root of x. Take the shift out, and then do your shift at the end. Okay. All right, now let's take a look at this last example again. This one here, my y value, or my a value is not 1. So as I look at this guy, my a value is 3. Okay, so identify the shift first. My shift is going to go, this guy here says left 2, and it says down 4. And then I'm going to cross these guys out, because I'm going to graph first y equals 3 times the square root of x. And this allows me to put in the same numbers every time. 0, 1, and 4. So again, if I put in 0, y equals 3 times the square root of 0, which is still going to be 0, because 0 times 3 is 0. Y equals 3 times the square root of 1. 3 times 1, or square root of 1 is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. And y equals 3 times the square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 3 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and plot these 3 ordered pairs. Put these guys in black, 0, 0. Write 1 up 3. And write 4 up 6. Right, like so. Okay. Then, the last part here is I'm going to go through this shift. Okay, this shift. Every point's going to move left 2 and it's going to move down 4. So every point I move left 2, down 4. I'm going to put a dot. These guys are going to be in blue. Left 2 and down 4 is right there. If I go left 2 and down 4 is right here. And if I go left 2 and down 4 is right here. And now my blue is the graph. This is the graph of y equals 3 times the square root of x plus 2 and then minus 4. Okay, so this concludes section 6.8, graphing radical equations. Okay, graphing radical equations. Again, we go through these. You should start to see a pattern as we go through these, and they should work out a little bit better for you.